Alright, for this matchup we have Zoodiac versus Zoodiac. So a mirror match between Oscar and myself. Oscar is on the left with the blue spellgrounds, and I'm on the right with the orange spellground. This is a locals finals at our locals at Treasure Chest Games and Collectibles. Both of us completed Zoodiac, so we're gonna play it, of course. The deck is super expensive right now, especially with the hype of YCS Seattle around the corner. Everyone has been testing a lot, and I'm pretty sure most of us has come to the conclusion that the deck is extremely strong, super consistent, and well, that's why everyone's going to be playing this deck. However, all of us also agree that this is going to be a very skillful matchup because it is not easy. Of course, if you blow out people with like dimensional barriers and having the proper maxi at the right time, you know, it does make it very, very hard for your opponent to play out of. But with the die roll going on, let's go into the match. So it was an odd and even roll rather than the typical high roll. I lost the die roll, or coin flip, to Oscar, so Oscar will be going for a special summoning out the Terror Top. With Terror Top, obviously, he's going to summon out the Taki Tombox. This, although they are the only level 3s in the deck definitely is much better with them in there, because it does give you access to two monsters that are mainly used, which is Totem Bird, and the other is MST.TV Invoker. So Oscar is going to be normal summoning out the Zoodiac Rapateer, which will allow him to do send one card from his deck to the graveyard, a Zoodiac card. He's doing so that he shows, basically he's showing me that he has a contingency plan if I do pop his play, and he can continue to combo off with his Speedroids. So Oscar proceeds to do one card overlay, so one card overlay on the bow and one card overlay onto the mortar, the Tiger Mortar and the Borbo. Detaching, and I chain the Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit onto his Tiger Mortar summoning ability of Rapateer, thanks to the Xyz material. This is a very interesting line of play that Oscar is doing. His hand is actually very, very good. However, seeing that he does not have any back row so far in his, or yet in back row traps in his hand, he might be wanting to fetch a few more cards. Now, in my hand, I just burned a Ghost Ogre, so I'm down to 4 cards, and of course, Ghost Ogre is once per turn, so there is no more Ghost Ogre threat. So he's going to go into the 1-card Xyz of Broadbolt, searching out the Thoroughblade. Now he goes into an attack mode Trident. Now he's going to proceed to overlay with his Speedroids for a rank 3. So there's a high chance that he may go into a Totem Bird to prevent his board from being wiped and keeping his Trident alive. But there's also a chance where he could go into the Invoker. Usually, most people do play a third Xyz for the rank 3, which would be what was it? The Break Sword. However, there's not too much that he can hit, so he's going into the MST.TV Invoker. He's going to be special summoning out a Thoroughblade. Thoroughblade will get his effect because the effect is not negated. It's supposed to be destroyed at the end of the turn, so he's going to be discarding his other Thoroughblade, and he managed to draw a Dark Hole. Activates Barrage. Oh, okay, so now he's going to be using Barrage to destroy his face-up MST.TV Invoker to summon out another Zoodiac monster from the deck. This is going to give him access to another bowl. Actually, scratch that, he's going into a Digusto Emerald, so he still ended up with the Digusto Emerald plus a Trident play. So usually that's what happens when you have the rat. He's going to put back a Tiger Mortar, a... Is that a... So he chose to put back a Thoroughblade, a Rat, and a Tiger Mortar. Now he will be able to draw 1 card from the Digusto Emerald effect. And he already has a Zoodiac combo in the graveyard, so his graveyard is very safe to basically recycle most of the deck. So he's going to be drawing 1 card. I believe he drew another Speedroid. I could be wrong though. So I just top decked into a Solemn Warning. My hand is full of traps, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing as well. Oh, hand is not looking too good. So this is the difference between opening rat and not opening rat. However, there is a dark hole for a board clear. But the board clear definitely won't go off because the back row is definitely going to stop it. Play dark hole. My body has a shield, so 1500 life points will be coming out of Oscar. Ha! Now I'm ahead. And a pass turn. Emerald effect to shuffle back 3 cards from the graveyard back into the deck. So he's going to target the Tombox, level 3 MST.TV Invoker, the rank 3, and the there we go, Tombox. So 2 Xyz monster and 1 regular main deck monster. Seeing that he shuffled back into Tombox, he probably has a Speedroid Terratop in hand. Oh wow. So he puts into defense, dried in defense mode and swings for 18. So 65 to 62. So going into defense mode, basically dodging a Mirror Force for that Trident and not committing anything else to the board. Set 1 more. And oh, I'm debating whether I want to set the... Okay, so I set the Ghost Ogre in defense mode. Now Ghost Ogre still can activate on field to send itself to the graveyard. So he is going into attack mode. So he's going to activate Viper to attach from hand, and he's going to attack. Now, a chain dimensional barrier calling Xyz, basically negating the effect of all the Xyz, putting his Trident back to 0 and taking an 1800 damage to the face. Now, my Ghost Ogre is still alive, so it's not easy to kind of deal with it. This puts him in a bit of an awkward situation, but if he does activate Trident, I'm going to destroy his Trident now. Normal summon Rappeteer. Finally, I've dug into my rat, but however, that came out very late. This is like 2 turns too late, I believe. So, Trident's going to activate. Are we going to chain Ghost Ogre to destroy his Trident? Oh, apparently not. Yeah, Trident has been destroyed. My rat has also been destroyed. However, I did send 1 card into the graveyard. I have to pass turn. There's no recovery play for me. Now, he does have a barrage in the back row, so he's guaranteed an additional monster if he does lose that Digusto Emerald. Digusto Emerald right now is just a very basic Lejin right now with 1800, so he's activating combination, or sorry, Zoodiac combo as they call it now, and shuffling back the Trident and a Broad Bowl, and basically he used the death of his monster to fill up the requirement for the Zoodiac combo. Pass turn. Okay, so he goes for a normal summon of Terratop and adding the Tombox that he shuffled back in from the previous Digusto Emerald. I take a total of 3000 damage from both these monsters, and in my back row there is a Torrential. However, I thought that he was going to drop the Tombox, but he read the Torrential and therefore it never happened, and I'm here eating damage. I just drew into a Twin Twister! Drew into nothing! And I just basically scooped from here. I played around the entire Torrential, it was just too good. Alright, so on to game 2. Now both of us have sided, and the sideboard is definitely one of the most difficult things for Zoodiac Mirror Match, because the matchup is already super tight. Everything that you would normally have in a side are already in your main deck. Ooh, I see a Tombox in my hand. Okay, starting off with, I will be going first. I will be going into a Zoodiac Rappeteer, going off, basically sending out the Zoodiac combo into the grave. However, no, there it is. There it is. I thought that I had it in hand. Apparently not. Zoodiac combo goes into grave. And apparently I'm a bit distracted in this matchup. Alright, combo is in the grave. That's actually a good sign. No Ghost Ogre, so that's also a good sign. Now, would you normally Ghost Ogre it right now? I'm not too sure. So it goes into a Borbo. Into a Tigress. Detached for Tigress. To summon out Zoodiac. Momorat. Or not Momorat, Raptier. I gotta change it up. We're now in TCG now. It has to happen. As you can see in my sideboard, there is a DD Crow. If you actually caught a light glimpse of that. Okay, now into Broad Bull. Broad Bull will detach the Tigress for the search. Alright, adding a Whiptail to hand. And using the rest of the Zoodiac Rapier. I gotta say this name properly. I've been screwing up all this entire time. This is kind of Raptier. So, going into standard combo, Digusto Emerald, detach 1, target 2 rats and a Borbo back into the deck to draw 1. Basically trying to dig into traps. This opening play is very stable, and I guess it does give you, well, that additional draw. On top of that, you're just... there's not much to it. Did I get it? Oh, I ripped a DD Crow. Set 1, set 2. Don't forget to turn your bull into a Drancia or a Drident. Very important that you turn it into a Drident because you have no threats unless you put that on board. Pass turn. Oh, he goes into Twin Twister. Hits the 2 back row. What did he hit? Oh, he goes straight into deep area, calling Xyz, and I get Dark Hold. So board wipe complete on Oscar's end. It's now his turn to go off if he can, but of course he cannot. There is no Xyz right now. He has my body as a shield in hand. He sets 1 and passes turn. No point exposing the rat so soon. Just counting the number of Zoodiac monsters in the graveyard for the combination. I just don't want to use combo right off too soon. So normal summon out the Whiptail, just attacking for 12. If I commit way too early, it's a bit dangerous, so better get the damage in. Lowering the number of your life points your opponent has will give you a better chance of actually killing them by surprise attack with the Borbo. So go into Broad Bull, straight into Broad Bull, which is very interesting. Detach 1. So the reason why I did not go into Broad Bull, Borbo, is that I don't want a second one currently. I do tech it 1 extra Xyz monster. So searching out a Thoroughblade from the Broad Bull effect. Now, you know, in hindsight, it is very useful to have the extra bow in the extra deck, just for the sake of the name and extra material. I'm going to overlay on top of the bull into the Tigers. Tigers will reattach the rat. And I'll activate Tigers effect to summon out more rats. Rapier is out. Should be 1 more available. Overlay on top into Drident. Detach the last rat. Summoning out a second Rapier. Overlay into probably Digusto Emerald, since I already attacked anyway regardless. I can recycle a few extra cards. Detach a Digusto Emerald effect. Targeting the 2 rats, and probably going to put in a Drident back into the extra deck. more useful than anything else. Oh no, putting a bull. Oh, choosing bull over the Dryden because the combo would need the extra name in the graveyard to shuffle back more stuff. So basically, I'm leaving the Dryden in there to keep the whole combo live. So setting one card. In my hand, a Maxi, and a DD Crow. Oscar with an instant fusion and a Chalice. Normal summons out the rat. So, milling into the graveyard a Thoroughblade. Normally when you see a Thoroughblade milled into the graveyard, I can... Oh, with the instant fusion, I'm just trying to get myself killed right now. I'm probably going to get killed right now. That's usually going for the OTK, instant fusion plus rat. Now, on the effect of Trident, Oscar is going to chain Chalice onto my Trident, negating its effect. Goes into Borbo. Summon is successful. The back row has not done anything yet. Goes into Broad Bull. Broad Bull will be able to fetch him another card out of the deck. Oh, Oscar's thinking pretty hard on this one. Really trying to regain control of the entire board with very minimal traps remaining in his hand. In other words, if I have a recovery play, he has to knock me down to the ground where I am beyond recovery. With his one back row, he's really trying to hold it. I was detaching the Xyz material off of a Broad Bull, and I chain Maxi. So he's doing it for the summon. So I will be able to... Oh, he's taking the Maxi challenge, so I draw one. He's overlaying right on top of the Bull. Detach. For another summon. So the effect to attach now, he's going to put on the Thoroughblade. The attaching is successful. He's going to go into a Trident. And drawing from Maxi, he's going to pop the Digasto Emerald. So overlay the two rats? No, he's gonna go instant fusion. Wow, okay, so he's gonna extend his play a little bit further. Oh, he gets chained DD Crow on the target of... that DD Crow coming in clutch. And draw one from the instant fusion, of course. That can't be missed as well. The DD Crow just ate the Thoroughblade. Now he has a dead Norden and not quite enough damage to push for game. And he has given me a lot of cards. He's really in deep in this Maxi challenge. Oh no. Oh, apparently according to Oscar, he had exact lethal. I don't doubt his ability to actually calculate 8,000 damage onto my pretty weak board at this point. Now, the DD Crow, of course, was already in my hand from the beginning when I dug cards with the Digasto Emerald. Oh, he's trying to go for Barrage. Barrage possibly can kill me. So he can detach one for his Daigusto Emerald to basically fetch him a card. Maybe even Barrier would help him out. Actually, I seriously doubt that he's gonna get anything. So I'll draw one card for the Daigusto Emerald. Right now we're arguing whether it's an out or not. But knowing knowledge of my backer, I know that it is not an out. He did normal a rat earlier on, so he's short one summon. So he's attacking. He's attacking for a 12, and he's also attacking for 18. The 12 is because that is a 400 attack Dryden. And end phase gets Twin Twister. I'm throwing out everything. I'm just showing him my hand because he's scooping. Now we move on to game 3. Now Oscar is going first. Hopefully, maybe both of us will get our rats off, and a showdown of board breaking. So usually the turn 1 player that opens with a rat will set up the board, and the turn 2 player will attempt to break it, opening with a barrage. So immediately with using the Ghost Ogre, Oscar now summons a Viper, goes into a Borbo, into a Broad Bull, into the search of I believe he's in search into a rat at this point. Yeah. So he searched out the Rapier into a Dryden, and wow, it says 3 back row. Now 3 back row could be very scary. If any one of those is a dimensional barrier, my turn is basically over. This is the disadvantage of playing a pure build, is that you can get turned off pretty easily, but you can basically try to grind it out against your opponent if you have the correct back row to kind of play against it. So normal summon my Viper. Battle phase, attack. Damage step. Chalice. So that is going to be 800 damage onto Oscar. At least the Dryden has been removed from the field. The 3 back row is still very scary. If any of those are bluffs and I don't clear them, I'm still in a lot of pain. So of course I hit him before I go into my extra deck, just so that I at least have done something to remove something on the field. Go into a Bull, detach, get striked. 1500 on Oscar, but he retains his board control for that strike. See, that's why you don't immediately exceed into anything. He was holding his Dryden as long as possible, did not expect the Chalice to kind of come in handy. So he's going to be special summoning out the Terror Top, effective Terror Top, to search out the Tombox. I doubt that we have anything else to search in this deck after all. So special summoning out the Tombox. Chain Maxi right on this play. This is an interesting turn of events. If he wants to commit any further, he'll have to take a bit of a Maxi challenge. Or he can just jump straight to the Totem Bird and end it there. Although Totem Bird wouldn't let him do too much. So yeah, he is going into the Totem Birds. I'll be able to draw 1 card. Was that card useful? I have no idea. So he normal summons out the Rapier. And he sends the Zoodiac combo into the graveyard, and he is going to give me 1 extra card by giving me a Dryden. Okay. Pretty stable play. Minimize the Maxi challenge, of course, and attacks for 1900. I just drew into my rat, and that is actually pretty good. Because I do have a Tenki in hand, and I hope to bait out the Totem Bird so that the Book of Moon can go through. Now, that Totem Bird is very scary. So I activate Tenki. This Tenki is actually a bluff. I want him to bait it because I already drew the rat, and I'm revealing the number of cards I have in my hand. I have 3 cards. And he lets it go. Oscar understands that getting hit by a board wipe is much worse. Much, much worse. So I add a Thoroughblade. Thoroughblade's a pretty interesting card in terms of the stats. It's very relevant. The 1600 is very relevant to the Totem Bird. Of course, if a Totem Bird has no materials under itself, by its own effect, it will lose 300 attack points, going down to 16. I am very scared for what's about to happen. So right now I'm just thinking, how am I supposed to actually get around this Totem Bird? This Totem Bird is actually removing my options to just clear the Trident, and I don't want to waste the Book of Moon. And knowing that I don't have a follow-up to the Book of Moon, that's just going to leave his monsters on the field, and he's going to maintain board control because of it. If Trident gets turned off, Totem Bird is no longer a threat. Normal summon the rat. So, the resolution of the rapier. Rapier is going to do something. Dumping a Thoroughblade. And Oscar is going to chain his Trident to pop my Rapier. Because the awkward situation is that your opponent goes straight into a Trident, and then now what do? Set 1. And pass turn. Trident is now going in defense mode. He could just attack. It's pretty safe to hit for another 19. He is going into a bull. I believe that is a Borbo. Sorry, Broad Bull. And it has been booked. And I will take another 19 to the face. Oh, drew into a DD Crow, but this DD Crow came too late. Normal summon out the Thoroughblade. Thoroughblade could ram into those dudes here. Those dudes do go down, so the Trident and the Broad Bull are now in the graveyard.
Could you imagine game 1 you just made a construct? You guys like, that card's bad. It is? It is? Dude, I haven't played it in so long. Assign me the Dragon Ruler format, like September Ruler format.
So he's going to be activating his combo.
And the guy like MST the first one, he's like Flip Soul Drain. Just like, wait.
Even with the DD Crow, I choose to let him go because I actually want to hit his rat. Perhaps this is a bit of a misplay on my end. Probably should have just negated that by using the DD Crow or any of his material, basically preventing him from getting that additional draw. I'm giving myself a -1 to prevent him from getting a +1. That's what I probably should have done in hindsight, but it didn't happen. Got a bit greedy. Greed might not be the best thing to play in this matchup. Alright, going into a Trident. Trident effect. If Trident can go through, I can start playing my other spells. And I get hit with another Strike. Strike definitely putting a lot of work interrupting my plays. And while holding the Totem Bird, I'm taking quite a bit of damage. So I'm about to lose a ton to Twin Twister. So I had a Zoodiac combo on the back row the entire time. And what this is going to be the finale, I believe. He's going to reattach a rat with a Tigress. No, I'm going to crow that rat out of there. It is out of there, but he's going to go into a Broad Bull. Broad Bull is going to be able to fetch him another card.
Carry would be 18, 20. Dude, if carry were out, I'd play Wind Up Zoodiac. Like, it's actually nuts. Wind Up was probably one of the best there.
So he's going to be adding himself a Viper, and that is game! That Take Tombox, why are you in my hand? Boys, thanks for watching. And if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see more stuff coming from MST.TV, please hit the left button to subscribe, or you can click on the right button to check another video from MST.TV. And as always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV.